Today, I'm going to tell you an interesting story about the life of Saint Vincent Ferrer. Saint Vincent was a Spanish priest and a confessor. He was born on the 23rd of January, 1350, in Valencia, Spain. In his young age, Saint Vincent felt a deep calling to serve God. So at 17 years old, he entered the Dominican order to dedicate his life to preaching, prayer, and penance. In 1379, at 29 years old, he was ordained priest and became one of the most influential preachers of the 14th century. His voice was unlike any other and was very powerful and compelling, yet kind. When he spoke, crowds would gather, hanging onto his every word. He traveled from Spain to France, Italy, and all over Europe, calling people to repentance and urging them to live lives of virtue amidst the turmoil of the 14th century, which was marked by the Black Death, the great division of the church, and widespread corruption of the clergy. They called him the Angel of the Apocalypse, believing his sermons were a divine warning to prepare for the end of days. In one account of his story, it was said that he converted 25,000 Jews to Catholicism in Toledo, Spain, which was a remarkable achievement. But St. Vincent was not just a preacher, he was also a healer and a miracle worker. According to historical records and testimonies, when he was preaching in Brittany, a funeral procession passed by. He approached the mourners and asked whether the deceased had died in a state of grace. The family hesitated, unsure of the man's spiritual condition. St. Vincent then prayed over the body, commanding the dead man to rise in the name of Christ. To the astonishment of everyone present, the man opened his eyes, sat up, and confessed his sins publicly. After receiving absolution, he laid back down and died again, this time in peace. This event was in St. Vincent's life story, which inspired people. Another miracle incident in Valencia, Spain, when a man suffering from a terrible illness was on his deathbed, surrounded by grieving family members. The doctors had given up hope. St. Vincent, moved by the family's sorrow, prayed over the man and made the sign of the cross on his forehead. Immediately, the sick man opened his eyes, sat up, and was completely healed. The family, overcome with joy, spread the news, and more people began to seek St. Vincent for healing. These were just some of the few miracles attributed to his name. In his later life, St. Vincent grew weaker because he slept very little and ate sparingly, for he spent most of his days serving other people. On April 5th, 1419, at the age of 69 years old, St. Vincent died from exhaustion and fatigue, and his exemplary life was soon elevated to sainthood, and he was canonized by Pope Calixtus III. Today, he is celebrated as the patron saint of builders, construction workers, healers, and orphans, and his feast day is celebrated every 5th day of April. If you like stories like this, follow, like, and subscribe.